If your kitchen or cake decorating area looks like this, I feel your frustration, and I'm going to share 14 hacks to get organized. Tired of cake pans tumbling out of your cupboards? Instead of starting with your biggest pans and getting smaller and smaller to build a leaning tower of pans, put the small pans inside the big ones, and they'll balance the next layer of pans. Your tower of pans will be stable and also much shorter, taking up less space. If you have several pans of the same size, instead of trying to stack them, which won't work, build a pyramid so that all of the pans are sitting flat, and the lower pans will hold up the higher pans. Neater, more stable, and space-saving. Colours are a nightmare to use after they topple over and leak, and they'll stain your hands for days. To keep them upright, I use a case intended for nail polish, and with these dividers, it's impossible for the bottles to fall over and leak. They'll stay in place, so you can organise them by colour and quickly find exactly the right shade you're looking for. Don't they look beautiful? With cake combs, you can get really smooth frosting and also perfectly textured frosting. But if they're in a box or drawer, it's a pain to find the one you're looking for. This rack is intended for the lids of pots and pans, but it works excellently as a divider for different types of cake combs. So in a split second, you can grab a smooth acrylic comb or a textured metal comb, or whichever one you want. Baking ingredients in unruly packets are messy and also take up a lot of space in your cupboard or pantry. Tupperware containers will keep ingredients fresh and tidy and use up much less room. You can stuff packets of chocolates or candies, like candy melts, into a box or Tupperware, but they'll probably spill out and all get mixed up at the bottom of the box. Use clear glass or plastic jars to divide them up, and you'll be able to see exactly what you have and grab it easily. As a bonus, these make a pretty display on a shelf as well. Cookie cutters are useful for lots of cake decorating techniques, but different shapes don't stack nicely in a box. Use a pegboard with some pegs to arrange them, and you can organize them based on themes, holidays, seasons. It will be easy to see what you have and to lift off just one. Stencils are super thin, but if you have several, they end up taking up a lot of space and you have to dig around to find the one you're looking for. A folder with plastic wallets is an easy storage solution for these. Put one stencil in each wallet, and you can label these with tabs if you want to sort them into categories, like the material of the stencil or the theme of the design. Now you can flick through the folder, making it quick and easy to choose and remove your stencil. Piping tips provide the most possibilities for cake decorating, and each one has a different shape at the tip to create a different texture. But if they're in a box or a jar, you can't see those shapes at the end of the tip, so you have to lift each one up until you find the right one. And to make it even trickier, smaller piping tips will hide inside bigger piping tips, making them harder to find. Use a craft box and either place one tip in each section or group them together, like star tips in one section and open stars in another, and petal tips in one section and grass and leaf tips in another. Sprinkles come in all kinds of shapes and colours, and you can buy them in packets or jars, but in a box or drawer it's difficult to see what's inside each one. Pour your most used mixes into jars and arrange them on a shelf, adding some colour to your room as well as your cakes. Mixing bowls are a must-have for baking and preparing and colouring frosting, and drips and chocolate decorations, but if you have lots of them in different shapes and sizes, they'll tower up and topple over easily. Arrange them by type instead, so that they nest neatly inside each other. They'll be easier to see and to reach this way, compared to being in a tall tower. Silicone molds for chocolate, candy, gummies, and cakesicles can be crammed into a box, or you can use hanging folders or an accordion folder and put one mold into each one, labeling them so you can find just the right one. If you use straws for cake pops, lollipops, meringue pops, or cake toppers, you'll know that they don't stay organized when you stuff them all into a drawer or a box. These straw dispensers show exactly which colors and patterns you have, and they look pretty on a shelf, and they make it easy to remove the straw you want. Decorations for cakes need to be stored too, like cake toppers and ribbon to wrap around cake boards. And instead of getting tangled up in a box, you can use pegs on a pegboard as ribbon spools. And put your cake toppers into a jar or glass so they're upright and easy to grab. Same solution for spatulas. Instead of taking up a whole drawer, stand them upright in a jar or a glass and they'll look pretty as well as being easy to reach. If you're enjoying this tutorial, please click the thumbs up button to like it, and subscribe to my channel for a new cake decorating tutorial every week. I hope these hacks help you organise your baking or cake decorating space, and without all of the clutter, you'll enjoy spending time in that room. If you have any other organisation hacks, please share them with all of us in the comments. If you're looking for cake decorating ideas, techniques, and designs, check out my online cake school on britishgirlbakes.com. Thanks for watching!